Hi guys, it's Candace. Okay, so we're gonna try to do some stamping things. There's a few people who would like to stamp but not quite sure what's what, and kind of asked, what would you do now that you didn't know then? Well, I don't know. I would still probably do the same thing, but there's so many different inks out there. There's like a dye ink, a pigment ink. Um, these you get at, where was I? I'm trying to picture them on the wall. They sell them in Hobby Lobby and Joann's. Oh, shoot. I got some other ones over here. I didn't bring all my, I know. Hold on. Oh, shoot. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. I was ill prepared. Then you have Distress Oxide, and I know everybody asks me, don't you have other colors? Yeah, I do, but I just, haven't opened them. Yeah, I got quite a few of, Tim Holt stuff. Then I have these little ones, because I used to get the Hero Stamp Art. So I have, a lot of these little mini ones, which are great for you to start off with instead of investing in the big ones, but I don't know. It all still adds up. Then, and it just really depends on, I have found it depends on your stamp, the kind of stamp you use, and your ink and your paper. I mean, some have like a ghosting bleed through, so the dye tends to have that. It says, I just looked these up. It's a soluble colorant dissolved in liquid. And then the pigment actually is got specks of solid colors that's suspended in liquid. It says that it's insoluble in water, making them highly water resistant, produces clear handwriting with less bleed through and ghosting. So, but we're going to stamp with all of these just so you can kind of see, hopefully you can see what's what. So I just have some little scraps of, this feels like 65-pound cardstock that I have. So we're going to start off with, let me get my little cleaning pad, because I'm going to have to clean my stuff in between just so we can get a good read. I know this one might be a little lengthy, and let me make sure that you can see what I'm doing. And we might, let me see if I can come in. I know I'm going to totally mess up all my stuff, but so you can kind of see a little better and a little clearer. So now I'm really going to have some T-Rex arms. Okay, so let me make sure. Let me put a piece of tape on here so I know not to go past these parts on here, so I can stay in frame. Okay, so that's all that is just so I know not to go past there. All right, so let's start with this dye ink. Now the Studio G's, when you get them, oh, I'm bad. It depends. Like I got these from their Studio G is Hampton Arts. It's their sister company. But you usually can get them in like light to dark color packs. You get those, they're hanging up at your craft store, so you kind of can get a variety when you're using multi-layer stamps. So you can, because they tell you start off with your light and then medium. There's layer stamps. We'll do that another day. But so that's those. Let me see if I have something that's similar in here. Oh, this one's not even open. I know, I'm bad. I wish they'd put, like, oh, here we go. This says it is unknown color. It's just blue. And this is unknown color. But they look a little similar, and they're dye and pigment. So we're gonna do these two just so you can see. And this might be dried up. I don't know. But we'll see what these look like instead of just, whoa, black. You see, and the lids they're really not, they don't stay on. So, All right, so let's Let me get a block. Now I put them up. They're buried. They're buried. All right. I know this is going to be a... Let's see. I guess we'll try this. We'll do this heart because it has some decent coverage on it. So if you get a new stamp, they always say condition it. Like, you know, you stamp them on and stamp off once. Or if you can just take and rub your fingers on there, you kind of get whatever coating is on there. And depending on where you get your stamps from, sometimes there's actually like something that comes off on there. But I've conditioned it. Or you can just, you know, see how it picks up on the paper. It's because it has some kind of something on there. I know, I might not help you. I might be more Confucius than helpful. Okay, so we're going to do our little dye ink. And, you know, a lot of people have different opinions of either... I worked myself into a, you know what. A lot of people like to bring the ink to the pad, or, I mean, stamp, or the stamp to the pad. It's, you know, it's your thing. You do your thing. So we're going to stamp this one. Oh, shoot. And yes, here, we're going to stamp these two on the bottom, just on flat ground, on our flat surface. So we have that one, which is, let me get a pen. That is the dye ink. Okay, now we're going to stamp our dye ink on this real, I mean, it's like 1/32, real thin craft foam that you get, just so you can kind of see. I know, I can see better when I do it like this. It just depends. And it's just because this is so much smaller, it's easier to tap your ink on than to, you know, do it this way. All right, and then this is going to be on the little bit of whatever this is, foam rubber. So, can you tell that, you know, with a little bit of give behind it, it picks up a little better of the stamp, but it's still good. So if you don't have any of this, you know, don't fret out. You can also like put 2 layers of paper towel behind it and get, you know, a little give on there too. But see, can you just see, this is just a little crisper inked than this one. Okay, so let me put on here, dye ink foam. All right, now let me just clean off my stamp a little bit so we can pick, whoa, so we can pick up the other ink. I'm cleaning it, and now I'm putting it on my dry one. Okay. And then, you know, I just move my stamp. So if you want to make sure it's off, usually a lot of people use like a fiber cloth, one of those, shoot. Anyway, it doesn't leave, you don't want anything that leaves like little dust trails behind. So if you're going to, you know, get it on a paper towel, the best thing to do is to, you know, stamp it like that to try to get it off. You know, don't rub, or just gently. I know the feel of mine, so I can do that. All right, so let me put that one up, and now we're going to do the pigment ink. As you can tell, my lid is... And then the pigment ink seems to be on like a foam type pad, whereas dye inks tend to be on, I don't know, can you see the differences? Foam, and then this is like a woven something. So that's what causes a lot of the, you know, I call it ghosting or bleeding type look, because you're inking up with a foamish pad instead of a flat pad, if that makes any sense. Okay, so let's do this one. And we're gonna, well, I guess we're gonna go right here. I should have stamped it long ways. Okay, so now we have, and if you just give it, you know, a little count to, I don't know, 10, it helps the ink get onto your paper. So this is Pigment. Okay, and now we're going to put our pigment on with our foam behind it. So you can see the differences, you know, and try not to like wiggle woggle it too much, because it does cause it to, you know, be a little smeary, or if you've had to use chapstick, you know, your little stamp will fall off of here. So this is Pigment with foam. Okay, so can you see the difference on here? How much crisper the one with the little bit of foam behind it is than here. I mean, it's just because it's given a little room for the stamp to indent in there to kind of give it all on there. But can you see the differences in the pigment ink versus the dye ink? So, I mean, they're both black, but one, I call this more black than this black. This is more like a really dark gray, and this is more of a black, and it's just what's in the ink. I mean, how they make the ink. So, let's stamp off some of this, just because, see, I can tell that there's a lot of ink on here, and I don't want to dirty it up so bad in my little ink washy thing. Alright, so let me put this back here. And then we'll, oop, that's dry. Make sure I use the clean one. I know this one might still be damp enough, but I'm just going to squirt it twice. And I'm definitely going to have to wash this tonight after I'm done with this. Because it is going to be definitely dirty. Now, you know, your inks will sometimes will fade your stamp. It just depends on truly the quality of what your stamp is. Reds will always stain your stuff. I mean, especially your clear acrylic ones. Well, now, I don't know. I guess these are like, I call them acrylic, but they're, oh crap, it's lost my mind. Silicone. Anyway, I can't remember what it's called. And then, like, if you're in here playing and you know you're going to be doing some more, you can always take a paper towel and you just see, you know, it'll pick up some of the dirt on there, the ink, I mean, so that way when you go to clean it again, it won't be so dirty, so muddy. But that's what, when you wash it with water and a little bit of soap, it all comes out. It just gets real faint light. And then I pat it with, you know, one of my scrap towels, one of my crafting towels. Which usually, you know, is a hand towel that has been around too long, that has a hole in it here or a fray in it there. That's what I use, and I just take and pat it real good and then set it out overnight, and it's dry the next morning and it's ready to go. So, okay, there's that one. Now, oops, I'm going to dry up. Let me get another little card. We're going to turn it this way this time. Okay, so let's do our pigment. I'm going to call it turquoise. Ooh, that's going to be bright. That one's juicy. Okay, so we're going to put our... Anyway, I kind of liked it this way so I can write. So we're going to put our pigment turquoise on here. And then, that is a pretty color. Like, I guess in Stampin' Up, it might be, what they call it, pool party or something. But can you tell it's a little wet. a little shiny on here, so it's going to take a minute for it to dry. And then, anyway, I know, I just, since they're little, I like putting it on this way. Alright, and then this is going to be with some foam behind it. John's back in his office talking to his machine. Yeah, I told him he's got to film that thing, because he was like, I'll even drive home and fix it. I'm like, no, there's no point. Just stay there. You can fix it tonight when you get home. And then pigment with foam. So that way you can kind of see that this just gives you a little clearer stamp. I mean, it's really, you know, depending on your stamp, you can tell the differences, you know, when you do it. But it's just gives it a little more give in there. So let's try the dye. Let's stamp this off. Before we clean it. I know, but I gotta clean in between. I know it takes a little time, but here, I'm gonna go on this side. on the not so black side. And get that over here. And then, you know, if your block is in your way, just take it off and put your hand on there. But I'm being lazy. So, and then I'm gonna run it through the dry cycle on the dry pad. And then that's that one. And just since it's got some stuff on the block, let me take that off. Okay, so there's that one. And now we're going to do the dye ink. Yeah, I mean, they just have, like, I guess, I don't know. Oh, ASTM D423. So I'm hoping, no, I don't know. That probably means something else. I wish they put names on here so you know what the heck. Instead of just say, oh, I got this pretty turquoise color. But did I just say, well, I think I went off, you know, down another road. I think it reminds me of Pool Party from, you know, that stamping place. I guess I shouldn't say their name. I don't know. You know, I've seen a few people on there that kind of walked away from there because of their things, their rules on YouTube about using someone besides them. Well, I mean, people. You know, you can't just use one brand. I guess you could, but sometimes one doesn't have this and one doesn't have that. And why can't you mix your stuff together? You're still going to sell your stuff. So, you know, let's just not be so stinking greedy, corporate America. All right, enough of that soapbox. But, okay, so we're going to give that a minute. And then dye with foam and a little bit of dog hair. And so there. Can you see just the slight difference? I mean, it's just, and then here, like, I didn't get enough ink in the middle. It's just, you know, a preference thing, I guess you could say. So, but that's those two. So let's stamp this one off again, or this one. And then we'll clean him. I know, y'all are like, oh, we're tired of that heart. Well, we're hearting it, people. We're hearting it. So let me clean on this end. So I can have my color down here. Let me just take it off the block. It's going to be much easier. Alright. And then we'll we'll dry it. Okay. So now we're gonna stamp some of these other things, and then yes, you will get ink on your fingers. What can I say? Okay. So let's do. I'm really gonna confuse you, but there is a Distress Oxide that is Distress Ink, and then there is an actual Distress Oxide. It's two different things. So this one, I had to write on here that I have refilled it with Distress Ink. So this is the ink that goes in it, and it has the eyedropper. Oh, this is empty. I don't even know why it's in my stinking drawer. But and then you know, put your drops on there and follow the instructions. You're supposed to put like 10 drops on there, let it soak in. Then you take a credit card and you gently smush it inside, is what they say on this, you know, fabric. And that's what gets the ink in here to refill it. But this is the Oxide ink. Can you see the difference in the ink? I call one chalky. It has a little ball in it, and it's more chalky than the ink. So let's just ink around this corner. So can you see the chalkiness of it? And it's much darker. Ugh. And you still get it on you no matter what. And then if you're wondering, these are bread ties. I glue them on there because I don't like fighting with my fingernails trying to get these lids off of this thing, because there's no little divots in there. I know any of you that's been with me from the beginning know my complaint about that. So I'm going to put this back here because I don't want to use it. And there's my ink. I don't want to get it confused. And then this is the regular Distress Oxide. Can you see that it's just a little more creamier, smoother? I mean, no, I want to call it Oxide. This is Distress Ink, Vintage Photo Distressed Ink. And this is, the other one is Distress Oxide. So it's the same color, but you get, I call this more chalky, and this is more creamy. So that's those. And I use the ink on mine just because this is more grungy. So if you'd want more grungy look, this would definitely be the thing to use. So anyway, so I just wanted to show you that. All right, now we're going back to stamping. So this is Memento Tuxedo Black, and I have re-inked it. I hope I didn't juice it up too bad, because I did get a little carried away. But this is more like a fabric, and I can tell and see if it doesn't hit it straight across. That's just because your stamps aren't even. And so that's why it's a little easier to bring the pad to your stamps. Sometimes you gotta kind of rub them to make sure you cover it all up. And I've noticed that the red rubber ones, and if you're wondering what red rubber, it's just the actual kind of, some of them are this shade, some of them are actual redder, but they're just more consistent. They do cost a little bit more, but you know, you do get a better stamp from them. So this is the Momentum Tuxedo Black, and we're stamping this flat. And this is a fade resistant dye ink. All right, so there's that. Where, good grief. Oh, I'm like, I've lost my rubber mat. And now we're going to, gosh, I've got washi tape stuck to it. Okay. And now we're going to ink up. Oh, I got entirely too much stuff here. Okay, now we're going to ink here. See, look at all my, be all kinds of colors by the time we're done. And now I know. I just wipe this off just in case I get it on someplace I don't want it. So this is Memento Dye. Okay. And then this is Memento Dye with foam. Okay. So can you see the differences in here? I mean, this is just a little cleaner stamp just because you have that little give with the foam, but it's just as pretty on here. So, you know, and this is just another step to remember to do, but it does make it pretty and clean. So let me put this one on in here. All right, so now we have VersaFine. So I'm just reading on here. It's a pigment ink, and it's for fine details. Now, if you're wanting to get some serious oh, I gotta clean my thing. If you're really wanting some serious detail, and that means just to pick up all your little, woo, chair went down, parts and pieces on your stamp, VersaFine is beautiful ink. I didn't write how much it is. I think it's probably $1 or $2 more than your regular ink, which the regular inks run $8, $8, $9 for. Well, they used to. They might be up $1 now. But you really do get a crisper print from that ink. So I'm going on the black side now. Oh, heck, let me just take it off and use my fingers. Okay. But yeah, definitely going to have a washy-washy time with both of my little pads. Okay. And let me just make sure it's dry. I know I got stuff on my thingy. Alright, so now we're going to stamp this. And VersaFine comes in other colors, but sometimes you can't find them at the store. And this one, you can flip this back and pat it down also, but you will definitely get more ink on you than you do your stamp, because that's just how it is, unless you go behind yourself and, you know, clean all your stuff. Well, I'm sorry, I don't have time. So it just depends. Stamping does take a little more time if you want a nice clean one. So let's stamp this one just on the glass, or on our flat surface. And can you see already just the difference in how clear, and that it doesn't, they say ghost because it kind of like bleeds a little bit, but let me write VersaFine. Yeah, VersaFine. And then we're going to put it, we're going to stamp it, and that's like, you know, VersaFine on here. It doesn't come off once you put it on there, just, you know. But it does come off of your fingers after you wash them good. Oh, but, you know, I don't know what they make VersaFine out of, but it really does pick up your ink really good on your paper. Okay, so now we're going to, picks up your ink on your stamp, even your cheap ones. Because like I said, these are the ones that I got for $2.50 for the whole set at Joann's in their, oh, what's it called again? Park Lane little boxes that they have stuff in. And it gives you a good stamp. And then this is Versa with foam. Oops. Versa with, I had W in my brain. Okay, now, can you see the difference? Can you see how clear this stamp is and how, I want to say, muddy or, you know, they just call it a, ghost, because it's just kind of, the ink kind of sinks into your fiber and kind of bleeds a little bit. And VersaFine, you really don't have that. So just even the VersaFine on the glass plain, can you see the difference in how clear it is? So that's my VersaFine stuff. I know, I hope this is helping, because it is a lot. And not every stamp and every ink and everything is the same. And sometimes you just have to, unfortunately, spend your money, play with it, see which one. And VersaFine can still be, it's a pigment. It's still can be washed off with your water. The only one that you have to have something special for is your StazOn, which the StazOn is made for like shiny surfaces, metal, plastic, all that stuff. It actually, I mean, you do need to let it dry a little bit, but it will not wipe off. So, I mean, it's great for your glassine bags and stuff like that. Okay, so that's that. I know my buzzer's going to go off in just a minute, but we're just going to have to reset it. I don't know what made me think I can do this. And let me put my VersaFine up. Okay, so now I don't have Archival ink in black. Well, I guess because I have all these other ones, and I'm happy with the VersaFine, so I don't think I needed an Archival black in the VersaFine. They actually, oh well, this one was $5.99, and I got it at Hobby Lobby, and then I actually found this marked down at Hobby Lobby, which is Sepia, for $1.74. Yeah, and see, obviously this was last year's because it was $5.99, and this year it was $6.99, but I got it marked down. And so, you know, whenever you can find something on clearance, that's the time to try. Because, I mean, you can kind of see the quality and what you like about it, and how it is before you invest in a bunch of different colors. And then I just always, you know, I like to know how much I pay for stuff. So I'm special like that. You know, I don't know why. It just makes me feel good. That's the thrifter hoarder in me. So, what does it say? Adult use only. Okay, I can cover that up. I don't know. You know, I have my days. Some days I can be considered an adult, and some days, well, you know, the jury's out. And then I'll write the date on it, I believe. Uh-oh, I'm running out of tape. Okay. But I do always like to write on here when I opened it. Sometimes. Opened. What is this? 4/22/22. And I think I got this 4/11/22. It's around that time. Close enough. And it's mainly I do this just so I can see how long the ink lasts. I mean, sometimes, you know, I got, well, like those other Studio G things, I really do believe I got this plain one, like at Walmart or something, because they used to carry a Studio G. Well, ours did. Some people still might have. But, so we're going to do coffee now. So this is our Archival coffee. And then we're going to do the coffee, which, I mean, you can already tell, you know, this, you know, it's just really the brand of, it's just however they formulate this stuff and put it on in whatever kind of stamp thing it is. I mean, they're just all so different, and I just can't tell you one's better than the other. It's just kind of your preference. And like I said, my thing is, I just know, you know, I do like the Archival inks. I like the VersaFine inks, and the Memento is good because you can get refills for them. But this is Ranger Archive Coffee, and this is Ranger Archive Coffee with foam. Yeah, we're getting lattes with foams, but can you just see just the difference? I mean, there's really not a lot of difference. It's just a preference whether you want to use it with or without, and it really, like I said, it depends on your stamp. Let's just do this one. Okay, we'll do this rubber one. We'll try it and see if you can see a difference on here. So we're going to stamp this one on here plain. I'm hoping I washed it enough that the black ink's not on there, but, you know, I can't promise you. And now we're going to stamp it with the foam behind it. And then I got to clean them. Okay, so in person, you can see just a little more clear with the foam, with not the foam, but I mean, to the naked eye, it still looks good. But can you see the difference between the red rubber and the kind of acrylic? Oh gosh, I guess they just call it clear plastic. I think it's called clear acrylic stamps. But I mean, they all, it really just depends. Once you learn how to hold it and do it, you know, you just got to learn how to hold a stamp and do a stamp. I know, like I said, I'm not helping. But I am kind of showing you some of these inks and different kinds. Oh, that one's already already kind of dried on my stamp. So let's see if we can get it washed. That one's got a little bit on there. All right, let's send it through the car wash real quick. And see, this, whatever is in there to make the coffee color, which is probably some red and yellow to get that brown, it's definitely going to leave a little discoloration on your stamps. That just happens. It's just what's in the ink that will stain your stamps. So, you know, as long as you know you've cleaned them, then you did your job. Now, you know, the red rubber, you really can't tell. Sometimes I wonder if that's why they made these. No, but it's just, you know, the red rubber, the rubber stamps, it does, you know, cost a little bit more for them to make it, and that's why you pay a little bit more. I had some on the edge. Oh, and see, mine's lifting up because I get a little vicious, but I can glue that down. No biggie. But they always, you know, mat them with the foam behind it, and that's just kind of like the same extra cush that you're getting on the with the foam behind it. But a lot of people have taken have taken these, pulled this off, and then just, because you can get it off of there easy, as you can tell. But I've used this one. This one, I can't even tell you how old it is. Oh, it's a number E, so I got it at Joann's, I think. But I've had this one for forever, and I use it all the time. But you can always take these off and then put them on your acrylic stamps. But you'll have to put some of your chapstick on there to get them to do their thing. Okay, so this, I want to see what this looks like, just because, you know, I want to see. So, since I got it on clearance, I got to see if crap. see, this is dried off too much now because I've cleaned it. So now I got to put some little chapstick on there because it didn't stick to my thing. So you can either put it on here or, you know, y'all see me. I just put a little bit on the back of the stamp. So that way it sticks to my plastic, my acrylic block. All right, so let's just see. Ooh. I think this was a good buy. It's still juicy. John's in there talking smack. Oh, that's a pretty color. But see, you know, I've just got it around there and on there. That doesn't matter, but y'all know I'm a picky crafter, so it mattered to me. All right, and it's looking like, see how this is kind of curling? Maybe like it's getting to be a little dry, but it still looks real juicy in there. So and then it's on the pad pretty juicy. So I think I'll be good for a while. But yeah, that's definitely a pretty shade of brown. All right, so this is, who are we? We're Ranger, Archival, Sepia with foam, no foam. Try writing it. So there's the Sepia from Ranger. So that's, you know, I like that brown. Because what I got, because, you know, one of the things that we're going to do, I have these shades of brown that I'm going to do something with. So I wanted to have 3 different shades of brown. I hope they go, you know, they work well. Because, you know, just because I have something planned in my head doesn't mean it works that way. All right. So that is going to be just our quick rundown. I guess we could try. Oh, I know this is going to be definitely darker stain after I rub it because of the yellows and stuff. And then I'll have to remember to see how it's definitely going to stain it. And I will probably take it to my sink and put some soap and water on it and see if I can get some more of that color off of there. But, you know, I might be stuck with that color just because whatever formula that they use for making colors, you know, your stamps do get stained. These do. And like I said, most of the time it's something with red in it. All right. So let's just, for toots and whistles, we are going to use, this is a Hero Arts, I think. Let me just look. I mean, they changed. See, I don't like fighting with stuff to get in there. Boom, boom. It just says this is actually made in the USA. Oh, this is Simon Said with the puppy dogs. So that's Simon Says. And this is made in the USA. I'd have to say this is, I don't know who this would be. Because obviously, the My Hero Arts. Oh, dear God. See, I don't have patience for these little monsters. Let's try our little hybrid wisteria. Wisteria. Let me, you know, not put that country twang on there. Wisteria. Wisteria. Like on Desperate Housewives. Did y'all watch that series? That was fun. Okay, so this is this one. Oh, and I'm telling you, they all say made in the USA. We have My Hero, definitely Simon Says stamp. Because, you know, like I said, I used to get a My Hero stamp kit and a Simon Says stamp. That's a pretty shade of purple. I don't know who this could possibly be. See? And how do you tell somebody that this is some good stuff if you don't know who the heck it is? Because, you know, a lot of us never thought, oh, well, we're going to make a YouTube video one day. Let's write where things come from so we can tell other people about it. Ew. Okay, it's got some ink on there. It didn't even look like it was going to ink, but there's something on there. So this is Soft Pool by we don't know who. And I have a few of them, so it could have come, I don't know. So that's just, oh, that's really pretty. Let me see, can you see? It's like variegated colors type stuff. Well, I guess that would make sense because you open up and it is kind of different colors, turquoisey and brown, and that's taupish. That's exactly what it is. So that's pretty. And then let's see this hero. Ooh. Yep. See, it's definitely time to... I'm going to have to use this side of my dry one to clean it. Because my black one's gotten too black. Because see, when I stamped it off, it had some faint color on there. So that definitely says, clean me. Clean me, Seymour. Clean me. Let me just wipe this off. And I'm hoping I have enough chapstick on there. Yes, I do still. Alright, and then we're going to do my hero. Don't know. I mean, and then, you know, in the little monthly kits that you would get, they would have a little card that told you what these colors were. And sometimes I would have the smarts to write them and put them on here. But, nope. You know, it just takes too much time. People, write them on here for us. Oh, okay. I'm like, well, what color is this? You can't really tell it on here, but it's stamped on the thing. That's a little girl snoring back there. I really need to put her on a diet. Oh, see, that's a pretty, like, faded denim color. Alright, so that is that one. And let me see if there was something else in here. Oh, like these. I think I found these. Oh, these are stampabilities. So let's just, you know, see what this looks like. And then, you know, if you want, you can always squirt on your stamp too to clean it. But I think we have that one clean. So let's just do this one. Acid-free ink pigment. It says Sable. And let's see if this even... Oh, see, this is about dry. This might not even be... There's some. I'm like, this might not even be worth using, but these are some of the first ones I've ever bought, and they're definitely, you know, a little dry. But that's because they sat over here, and I don't use them all the time. Oh, well, that's a pretty color, though. So, there you go. That just shows you the different brands and the different kinds. So, you know, I can't really tell you who I like the most, who I don't like. It's really depends on the color and your stamp. So I know I'm no help. And then it's just the price point that you're willing or wanting to spend to get into stamping. And, you know, if you want to just try some, buy some of the small things. These you used to find at, sometimes at Tuesday morning, but they still sell these at, Hobby Lobby in little pads. You know, Tim Holtz still sells his little things. And I think his mini ones are a little bit bigger than this. But he used to put, you know, in, oh, who was that? Oh, good grief. Some other scrapbooking thing that I used to get, and you used to get real name brand stuff in smaller things, in smaller sizes, and then I can't remember what their name is now, but anyway, but then they stopped giving you good stuff, you know, still charged you the price that they charged, but you know, you just started getting less and less for your money, and it's just, you know, not worth it for that price. So I know. But like I said, I'm definitely going to have to wash this. And I'll show you the difference between the washed and the dry one that I clean, because I definitely got to wash my hands. So anyway, I hope this helped you with just some basic stamping as far as the inks, what kind of, oh crap, I'm dropping stuff everywhere, what kind of inks, how they stamp, what they look like, and acrylic stamps versus red rubber stamps. Like I said, you know, if you're just getting into stamping and you have a limited budget, the acrylic stamps are definitely the way to go, because they're more affordable and you do get more for your money. But the red rubber ones, you know, they do cost a little bit more, but you definitely get a good quality, sometimes better quality stamp on them. But, you know, when you can get these for $6 for a pack versus $6 for one, you know, you've got to start somewhere. So, but I hope all these little stamping and swatches kind of helped you with the different kinds of inks, and you know how they stamp, flat versus with using a little foam, the distress ink versus distress oxide. On the Tim Holtz stuff, I just say the oxide is more chalkier, then the ink is more creamy, if that makes any sense. So anyway, so that's just going to be, I'm sorry, I'm trying to bend down and pick this up because I threw it on the floor. So that's just going to be our little Stamp Ink 101. And like I said, I hope it helped. And then on our next video, we will actually start getting into some masking stuff. But I wanted to do the different kinds of, you know, stamps, acrylic versus these, and then the different kinds of inks, so you can kind of can see, so you know what you would like to do or not do. But it's just really, like I said, it depends on your budget and how you want to jump in with both feet or just kind of get your toes wet. Okay, guys. So, well, thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing some of your time with me. I hope this helped. I hope I didn't confuse you more than you already are. You know, because I have a very good way of doing that for y'all. And we will see you on the next video. So thanks for watching, and thanks for all your love and all your hugs. And so here's kisses and hugs back to me. Oh, hey, we can go over these hearts here. Woohoo, we have real hearts. And I will see y'all in the next video. Have a great day and a blessed day. Bye, guys. Oh, and I'm not even in frame. There we go. I'm bad. I'm sorry. I hope I did all that best. Okay. Bye, y'all.